case for Judge Joe Brown. Whoa! Experience, knowledge, and a passion for the truth.
I'm protecting womanhood and promoting manhood.
Bringing no-nonsense justice to Americans everywhere.
If you listen, you may learn something.
It's time for Judge Joe.
When a 2-day car rental extends into a 2-month ordeal, the bill and the surprise renter explode. Legal assistant Elisa Evans is suing her cousin and her cousin's boyfriend for 2 months car rental. Defendants Anna Ward and her boyfriend Terrell Purnell say the plaintiff shouldn't be suing family. Now, here's Judge Joe Brown.
In your own words, tell me what's going on.
Well, on May 30th, 2008, it was my cousin Anna's birthday, and she called me and she asked me if I would rent a car on her behalf to, so she can go out for her birthday to the city. So I said, well, how come you don't get your boyfriend to do it? And she said that he doesn't have a credit card. So I said, okay, well, I'll do it for you.
Her boyfriend didn't have a credit card?
No, he didn't. So I did it for her because it was her birthday. She said it would just be for the weekend. We'll return it Monday, June 2nd. So I said, all right, I'll do it for you, but he has to go on the car because you don't have a driver's license. I'm not going to do it unless you have somebody that could drive the car for you.
So he went down, actually the paperwork shows he's an authorized driver.
Yes.
She's not. She doesn't have a driver's license.
Yes, but I didn't sign anything either.
You set the agreement up. That puts you in the position of being guarantor. It was for your benefit.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay, so on May 30th, I rented the car for her, and her boyfriend took the car that day. They were supposed to return it on Monday. They never returned it Monday. I spoke to them towards the end of the week, after June 2nd, the end of that following Friday. They said, oh, don't worry about it. The car's going to be returned Friday. I said, well, you guys were supposed to return it Monday.
That's one extra 4-day period.
Yes. And so I said, okay, so you're going to pay for it in cash. Yeah, we're going to pay for it in cash. We're not going to charge a card, nothing. We have the cash to pay for it. So I said, okay. Then weeks went on. I thought they returned the card. They didn't. And so before I went away in July. And right before I went away, I was checking my bank account, and I saw that Hertz deposited $28 or something in my bank account, and I was wondering why they were putting money into my account. So I called them, and I asked them, I said, why are you, what's going on? Why are you putting money in my account when I rented a car from you almost a month ago? And they said, oh, well, you never returned the vehicle. So I called my cousin.
You never returned the vehicle?
That's what they said. And
you never returned the vehicle.
So
Keep going.
So I called my cousin, and they said, oh yeah, we have the car lease. We're gonna return the car lease. So don't worry about it. We're gonna return the car. I said, Anna and Terrell, I don't have the money to pay for this rental car. You guys have to return the rental car now. Oh, we're gonna return it. By the time you come back from Vegas, it's gonna be paid for in full, and we're gonna you're not gonna have to worry about anything. So when I come back from Vegas, I thought that the car was returned. I called, but I didn't get an answer from them. And her sister told me that she just came from visiting her in Maryland to pick up her daughter, and they were in
Maryland.
Yes, Inca lives in Maryland.
All the way from New Jersey?
Excuse me, Your Honor, the purposes of going to Maryland, my daughter, her grandmother passed away, who was very hands-on with my daughter.
What's that got to do with this
Because Elisa said that we went to visit my sister. It wasn't a visit. It was
your sister lives where?
In Maryland. My daughter, if you let me explain, was in Maryland for 3 weeks due to the fact that she was visiting with my mother for the summer.
Oh, my.
So that's the reason why we had the car longer, and that's why we had to go pick up my daughter, because they had no transportation for her to come back home on such short notice.
Question again. She posed to you, why didn't you get your boyfriend to rent the vehicle? He didn't have a credit card.
But that was never asked to me either.
You're going to play money and he's unemployed.
That was never asked to me.
You say you're not responsible because you never drove the car.
No, I'm not saying that.
You had a chauffeur. Continue, please.
So when I came back, I spoke to my cousin Inca, and she told me that they just left from Maryland and they still had the vehicle. So I called my cousin Anna, and I called Terrell, her boyfriend, and I didn't get a response from them right away, but I finally got a call from them, and my cousin she got upset and told me to stop calling her so much. They're going to take care of it, that she's working. If she's not home and she's not answering the phone, she's not ignoring my calls, she's not avoiding me, she's just working, she's busy. So I said, okay, yes.
And somebody kept calling to extend it.
Yes, Your Honor, that was me.
That was a he.
That was he. Which is me. Which I had explained to Lisa that at the time that her daughter was, her grandmother had passed away, that we was using the car to go pick up her daughter from Maryland to go to the funeral. After the funeral, we was going to return the car, and that's exactly what we did after we returned the car from the funeral.
56 days after you got it.
No, that was 56 days after the return date. The return date was June 2nd.
Return date after 56, so it's a total of 58 days.
Yes. She said, don't worry about it. The car is going to be paid. Don't worry about it, Lisa. Stop calling me so much.
How is it supposed to be paid? She's a waitress, going back to school with a 13-year-old child and a boyfriend's unemployed. $6,000 plus.
We'll be right back with Judge Joe Brown.
Explain 58 days total when it's supposed to be 2.
I wouldn't have even tried to rent the vehicle. I wouldn't have tried to put her in that situation. But I did not know those charges were occurring.
We're back with Judge Joe Brown. The defendants in this case say they needed someone to rent them a car because they didn't have a credit card. The 2-day rental turned into 2 months, and the plaintiff has been charged almost $6 grand. Let's take a look.
Let's go to the defendants. Which one of you wants to talk first?
I would like to say something.
Go right ahead.
As Lisa stated, yes, she did rent the car for me on my birthday, and yes, it was supposed to be returned 2 days prior.
Why did you not return it?
The vehicle was in Terrell's possession.
What do you mean in his possession? Didn't you go down to see your daughter for 3 weeks, is it?
This was after the 2 days that the car...
So what are you saying?
You have to ask him that.
What do you mean? He's your boyfriend. So you going with him to celebrate your birthday. So you keep the... Explain 58 days total when it's supposed to be 2.
Well, Your Honor.
Go ahead, man.
Well, Your Honor, like we were saying that...
Try 30. Let's give you a little break.
All right, well, within the period of time that we had the rental car, things were occurring.
What the hell does that have to do with her? That's your problem.
When she
well, let me ask you a question. Supposing they let you put up a cash deposit, would either of you have kept this vehicle as long as you did?
I did put up the cash deposit.
What cash deposit?
Deposit that we used, that I put that morning, and for one, the day I...
How much?
$355.
That's nowhere near $6,000 plus.
I didn't say that it was.
Well, if you had to pay it with nobody putting the credit card up, what do you think happened?
That morning, I went to the bank and deposited the money into her debit account. The lady didn't go over that on the contract, or I would not have rented the vehicle.
We had other options.
I would not have rented the vehicle if I would have known all those additional charges was on the car. I wouldn't have even tried to rent the vehicle. I wouldn't have tried to put her in that situation. But I did not know those charges were occurring.
You fools are over 30. She's 22, just graduated from college, and you idiots, you're blood relatives. Whatever you got is ours.
I'm not dumping on her. And that's not what I'm saying.
What is your problem?
I've helped Elisa in
what
situations
is your selfish,
too, and I've never asked her for anything in return.
Egotistical problem with as little as you've done for yourself and your life, and you sit up and made a whole lot of wrong choices. She's made the right one, so you want to tear down somebody in your family that's upholding.
I'm not trying to tear her down.
Great. What do you have to say about your sister? Come on up.
Well, basically, they covered the points of what the situation is. My sister and I have been through, a few things in life.
Same kind of thing she's done to you, right?
Well, yes, but not that amount of money.
Not that amount of money. And you're her sister.
And I'm her sister.
What'd you think about your younger cousin over here putting her card up?
If she would have called me before she did this for Anna, I would have told her not to.
In fact, you indicated your mother won't even speak to your sister right now because of that.
My mother is staying in my house right now as we speak.
As of right now,
so those are all lies.
As of right now,
all lies.
My mother is now speaking to her. At the time of this situation with the rent-a-car, she was not speaking to her because of what they did for the rent-a-car.
Now, you're proud of your cousin, aren't you?
I'm very proud of her.
Have a lawyer in the family.
Yes.
Did fine, got an outstanding GPA, taking
I'm not
LSAT.
Here to stab, you know. Yes.
Now, she's been doing this most of her life, hasn't she?
Majority.
This one, your sister.
Well, majority. We grew up tight, and I mean, I'm here to take care of my sister. Even though I'm the youngest of her, I'm always going to be there for her, but I mean, I'm her sister. This is her cousin. That's a totally different situation.
Now, what are you supposed
We're watching court in session, and we want to find out what the people are thinking. So we asked the gallery to vote to tell us if they think the plaintiff is making her case. We'll be back with those results a little bit later.
You should be looking to her for guidance and not foolishness.
You're right.
And by the way, you low-down scoundrels, you trying to jack up your blood kin over here who's trying to make something for herself and uphold, and you fools who have not done anything responsible are sitting up here jacking her.
Yeah, your opinion.
That's the only one that counts.
All right.
Judge Joe Brown will continue. We're back with Judge Joe Brown. The plaintiff in this case says she helped her cousin rent a car to celebrate her birthday. The defendants took it for a joyride, and 2 days turned into 2 months at her expense. Earlier, we asked the gallery if they thought the plaintiff was making her case. 98% thought that she was. Now, let's see what the judge thinks.
Well, let's see. I'm going to do justice. You consolidated this. She's the guarantor. And he is listed down on there, and he signed it. So the jurisdictional limit's $5K per person, but I tell you what I'm going to do since you've got 2 defendants. Guarantor over here is going to cover $4K of this whole thing, and he's going to pay for your trouble. You foolish idiots. She's got a lot of money she's got to pay to go through law school. Selfish, self-centered, egotistical, narcissistic, worthless fools. It's up to you to start putting some worth on you by doing something. Get out of my sight.
Judge, very upset. The best excuse we've heard in a while, things were occurring. To say that the defendants in this case had a lot of nerve just doesn't cover it. We're going to pay the